Namaste, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, privet. I hope you're well. It is Friday, the 25th of August, 2023, and this is Ken at 10 coming to you live, as always, from our offices in Southwest London, Norbury, which is a fantastic commuter area, which you should consider if you're buying or renting, or indeed investing. And we're just to the south of Streatham, or to the north of Croydon, kind of a thoroughfare really, but we're also a zone 3 commuter area with a lot of fantastic people, a nice community. So how are you? I hope you're well. As many of you will know, Friday's a special day for me. It's my favorite day of the week. Why? Well, it's the anticipation of the weekend, especially this weekend. We've got a bank holiday on Monday, Notting Hill Carnival, all sorts going on, and it's actually beautiful and sunny right now, but the weather's a little bit hit and miss over the weekend apparently. A little bit of rain, a little bit of sunshine. Hopefully it'll be good enough for the carnival. Apart from that, a couple of headlines. Housing market viewings plummet 98%. Well, this is a headline that we saw come out and we thought, well, that's a bit dramatic, and as usual it's a little bit misleading, but what they're saying is quite right, that the housing market is experiencing a deep midsummer freeze, with viewings for property falling by 98% compared with last year. This is figures from Property Mark. That's a leading professional body for estate agents. They say that there were 1.5 viewings for property in July, compared with 3 in June and 4.4 in July and August of the previous year. Compared to the July last year, there's 37% more homes on the market, and the highest level recorded over the past 12 months. But there's a couple of things I'd say on that. How many viewings do you want? Well, actually, you want one, don't you, at the right price? And what a quieter market does do is it gets rid of the people that are maybe might-bees and leaves the serious viewers. So yes, there are fewer viewings, but we're finding that the people that are looking now tending to be more serious, whereas in a market where everything's bullish, everyone just wants to move because they want to make money, then you can end up in a position where lots of people will mess you around. Nathan Emerson, he's the chief executive of Property Mark, says that the sales market remains buoyant despite raising mortgage rates. He says as the number of viewings drop, this indicates a shift to the more serious home buyers and sellers that are remaining proactive in the market. What I would add to that is that in a market that is tougher, such as now, what you'll find is that, of course, we're in a situation where there won't be as many buyers around, particularly during the holiday period. Why? Well, families are away. And what we're looking at now is investors aren't buying so much. It's now all about the family. And families are away on holiday. They're enjoying their holiday time. They've got the bank holiday ahead. Well, they'd be looking at property. They want to enjoy their family before those children go back to school. When the children go back to school, mum's got some quiet time. That's when she'll think about moving. And I say mum, I've said many times here in Norbury, we find that it tends to be mum that leads the charge when it comes to looking for a new home. They tend to have that nesting instinct and just want to get to the new home. And us guys generally are just like, okay, we'll do what you wish. Apart from that, a couple of one more optimistic headline that I saw today, which I liked, was that Nationwide cutting its mortgage rates to support homeowners. This is in the Express, and it says that Nationwide Building Society is cutting its rates by up to 0.4%, nearly 0.5%, and that is good news. And that's during a time of soaring interest rates. It says the reductions apply to new customers, first-time buyers, and remortgages. Existing customers moving home will also benefit from reduced rates. And that is very good news. And what he says is, it's a guy called Henry Jordan. He's their director of home at Nationwide. As economic conditions continue to stabilise, we're able to make further cuts to our mortgage rates, building on the reduction that we've made in recent weeks. Now, there's one other article I saw as well, which I thought was interesting, and that was, again, about the expectation of interest rates. And this was an article in the Eye, and it said, and I think this is quite significant, it said that there are now economists predicting that interest rates will peak at 5.5% in September, and that's despite inflation falling to 6.8% from 7.9%. All but one of the 62 economists polled expect the base rate to rise by another 0.25 in September. Now, they meet on the 21st of September, so that'll be a key indicative date. But bearing in mind, you can lock your rate down before then. I don't think that it should matter too much to longer term rates, because the swap rates on which fixed rates are based are remaining lower than expected. And if it peaks at 5.5%, that is lower than the expectations were generally. A lot of expectations were that it would go as high as 6%. So that could be good news. Section 21 evictions are set to soar even higher. Careful what you wish for. The government wished to abolish Section 21 notices. What happens? There are more Section 21 notices than ever before being served. And of course, this is driven by the Renters Reform Act and the fact that they may be repealing the legislation that allows you to serve under Section 21. So interesting to see that too. But in terms of the market generally, don't panic. Yes, it's quieter in July and August in a more difficult market. And let's be honest, we're in a more difficult market. Any agent tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. It's tougher out there. What does that mean? It means we've got to get the three things right that are most important: the price, the presentation, and the promotion. And if you get all those three things right, then you've got the best possible chance of selling in a tight window that is September. We are talking about just a few weeks, but they are critical weeks when people start to search for their family home. People use the end of the year as a bit of a yardstick for whether they want to move or not. So for instance, September, there's time there to get yourself in for Christmas or the holidays in December. And what people don't like to do is see their moves trip over into next year. Generally, they're thinking of moving this year or next year. And if they're thinking of moving next year, they're probably knocking that decision on to the springtime, March or April of 2024. So a very critical time coming for the housing market, and it will be a yardstick for the rest of the year as well. So it'll be really interesting to report to you on how it is come September. And you can certainly hear that first here. Podcast-wise, we've just completed the podcast. We're going to release that shortly. And please do drop in and have a listen to that on your favorite provider. Just search the usual places. And that is Spotify or Apple Podcasts or your favorite provider. We should be on it. So thanks for watching as always. Have a fantastic bank holiday weekend. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the bank holiday with your family and friends. Ciao.